sponsors once, and I even cut an ad for them, and I'm like, you're welcome.
We are live.
Oh, shit.
Welcome to the Rinky Dink Bullshit Podcast, episode season 2, number 31. We got inside the house. We got two very special guests. But first, let me introduce my co-host. To my left here, we got Jahns, Wrestling Encyclopedia.
That is I. Thank you, folks.
And now, the guest of the honor. Y'all know that we've been trying to get them inside studio for well over 3 years now.
That's crazy.
Stop.
And right now, we got to my right here, we got the one, the only, the chainsaw queen herself, Dahlia.
We love you, Dahlia. She's amazing.
Yeah.
And over there, across from the table, you can see the one, the only man who spooked Cash Jackson so bad Sunday night when he started up that chainsaw.
Yeah.
That Cash Jackson saw the light before his eyes flash. We got in the house, Chainsaw Nate.
Chainsaw Nate, baby.
Yeah.
Living in living color.
We hate that Nate guy.
Yeah.
We heard he wipes before. We heard he wipes.
He wipes before he poops.
Take it away, Sean. Well, share it up.
Alrighty, guys. Welcome to our studio. It's our humble abode where we do our thing.
Oh, so professional.
Bro, this is cool.
Like, this is the first time I've been here. And it's
we appreciate
so nice.
you.
I literally just showed up, guys, and it's so professional. I'm excited to be here.
I dig it, man. After seeing this on online for these, like you said, 3 years trying to get us on here. And,
Yes, sir.
So, like, to finally be in the infamous NiceguyAndy studio.
Now that I'm here, you're not going to get rid of me.
Hey, that's fine.
Try.
Once she starts talking, she doesn't stop, baby. Yeah.
No, I just mean I'm gonna not come. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. I know what you're saying.
Well, like, we all got other places to be. And I don't care. Leave the key under the mat for me.
Yep.
I literally will. I'll just sleep here. No big
How's
deal.
am I speaking into the mic good enough?
Yes, you
Yes,
are.
sir.
I'm,
You are.
I'm making sure because
You're
I've
doing
watched
good.
some of
I'm
your
feeding
guys.
to the camera too.
I've
Is
watched-
that normal?
Yeah,
That's fine.
Okay.
I'm
That's
facing the
fine.
camera also, so I'm doing like kind of a both. Like
Emily said, "Hi, Dad."
That's my bonus daughter, Emily.
Hi, bonus daughter.
hello.
And she says, hello, guests. Sorry she couldn't be here today. And hi, Johnny.
That's right. Hi, Emily.
Hello, child.
So yeah, you're sounding real good because you understand where you gotta be speaking into when it's the mic. Most guests they
I
don't
know.
understand that.
Oh, I've watched some of your guys' interviews and
It sounds like they're
ain't
talking from the other room.
yeah,
sometimes.
and ain't nothing on them, and because I understand it because it's kind of like. In pro wrestling, there's you got to work the hard cam, and then you got to learn to work the floor cam, roaming cam, whatever you want to call it.
Yes.
And then in some cases, you'll have like I do the GoPro some of the time on a ref's head, so sometimes I'll work that, and it all just depends. So you got to kind of do the same thing with like I've had a brush with acting here recently, and I've had to like calm down. Like she's a pro at it. She was doing acting before she ever busted into pro wrestling, So she knows how to do both. Like it was a pretty good transition for her. But for me, because you're taught like, hey, when you're throwing a punch, do like the Hulk Hogan, you pull it on, or the Steve Austin or the Kurt Angle where they're bringing it back like a baseball. You know what I'm saying? Like they're going to launch it. Boom. And like when you're on set somewhere, you ain't got to do that. You're just to the camera. So like I've learned, especially like after all the media stuff that she does, because she's all over the place. She spent more time this past month in the air than she has on the ground. She's been flown all over this country.
Hell yeah,
making appearances.
That's awesome.
And,
Breadcrumbs. It's just breadcrumbs.
Your breadcrumbs right now. Some people never even get those. That's how like over you just become without taking a bump, which is what's cool about her. But to put a cap on what I was saying, it's just I've learned. Been around her and everything I've been exposed to. Like I'm going to speak into the mic, try to face the cam, but also then address you guys too.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fine.
So yeah,
But you're doing well.
thanks.
But that's how it's supposed to be because all that plays into professional wrestling. It's not just that you're working the hard cam. You got to work all sides of the cameras.
Yeah.
Because you want to get your best shots caught.
Yeah. All four corners. That's.
But I think to put a bow in what they were complimenting you on, though, stroking your cock a little, you're a fucking professional and you're not a goof.
Oh,
That's right.
Like you're not like I'm being interviewed right now. Yeah, feed into the mic.
I know. Like I said, I've watched you guys since I became aware of you guys like 3+ years ago. Actually, thought it was a little longer than that.
Yeah.
And I keep up with you guys. Like, I'm not saying I watch every show like start to finish, but I'll pop on and I'll watch you guys. And I've seen some guests like they'll be.
They will.
Which maybe they're comfortable.
Which is
We
fine.
can't.
Yep.
Maybe they're comfortable
But
and just loving the.
That's fine though. Like if you're just having like a conversation, like me, Johnny, and Sean were having before we went on the air.
Yeah.
And like I was just sitting here talking, but like I know now that we're live. So I'm gonna try to talk into this and face that.
And plus, you get where you're supposed to speak into the mic.
Oh,
a lot of them don't even try to do that.
Oh, I know. I've seen it. I'm like,
We've all seen it.
I was like, oh,
What are these?
that's interesting.
Lit up, what are these buttons?
These right
These
here.
here are sound bites.
Can I push one?
Yes, please.
You can push one right
You
now.
can push one.
Pick which one you
I
want.
like the lavender.
If he keeps popping off at
What
the
have I
mouth,
done?
I'm gonna be his
Is it the red
dad.
button or no?
Yeah, you can hear it if you have the headphones in.
Yeah, you have to put the headphones on.
Oh
These ones
shit,
right here.
Nate! We have.
Here I am talking about how professional I am. I'm sitting here talking about how good I am at doing this. No headphones.
Okay.
Hey, it's
We're
all
gonna-
right.
We're gonna play it again.
I
He
didn't
keeps
want
popping off at the mouth. I'm gonna be his dad.
For us.
If I would
Oh,
open
I'm
my eyes,
sorry.
I could have saw them.
We're just excited that y'all are here.
Yes.
I didn't want to be rude
We're
and ask in case.
marking out.
Hey,
for
it's
you
all
guys.
right
This is a
because
great moment.
the buttons are there for a reason.
No, okay, yeah. So away from the headphone bit. So what did the lilac do?
If he keeps popping off at the mouth, I'm gonna be his daddy.
That was
Is that
right.
a replay?
Yes.
Yeah, it's
And that
we
was
filmed.
after Roman Reigns told Austin Theory, "Your daddy's not here no more. You keep popping off at the mouth. I'm gonna be your daddy."
Yeah.
So I was repeating what he
was doing
said.
it.
Oh,
And
that's
then
funny.
Here's one I've done.
That ain't what your mama said.
Can I record one and do that?
Yes, you
I
could.
wish we knew how to do it though.
Actually, we could. If she does a soundbite here, Andy can go back, clip what she says, and then it's gonna be right there on that soundboard.
Okay, so what
say-
should mine be?
I don't know. Say something like
Boners are fantastic.
There you go.
Oh,
Let's
that could
see.
be it.
Yes, they are.
Do you guys remember your first boner? I can't even
Oh my
speak right now.
god.
Do you remember? Were you afraid?
I was like, what the hell?
I'm sure, obviously, you were excited,
going on?
but
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
you think that you were terrified as well? Because you're like, what's happening to me?
Yeah,
I was at
probably.
But do you vividly remember your first boner?
I do.
Math class, I got called to the front of the class.
Stop.
Yeah.
That's,
Isn't
you know,
that-
it's kind of cliche. It's cliche.
No,
But at the
like-
time, my math teacher would have been one of those teachers nowadays. We probably would have gotten in. You know, you hear
Now,
about the
was
teachers.
she? Now, did she
I
just
know.
look the part, or did she do stuff?
She looked the part. So I'm not going to
okay.
say. Now, I don't know what she did outside of,
Yeah.
you know, outside of school.
Doing it big.
That's right.
But I would have, had I not been so awkward at the time.
Did you get caught in school? Like, did you have to go solve a problem? And you're
I
like,
had
oh,
to go
no,
to
I
the
have a
board.
boner. Stop! This is news, everyone,
I had
ladies
it-
and gentlemen.
No.
1 minute. So, okay, so how old are we right now? Oh, wait,
At that
this
time,
is bad. Like,
I'm
Oh, yeah.
right now. I'm 44, but at the time,
Andy has a question though. He says, "What do you think?"
No,
about
Johnny.
Bush?"
wait, Bush is in our ex-president Bush,
No.
or
Yeah,
like
no,
a
no.
Are you Republican? That's the question.
no.
Oh shit!
Andy-
Andy,
Andy has one of those perverted minds. So he's talking about the
Sorry,
other kind of
guys.
You
Bush.
Bush.
have it.
expensive.
He has a dirty mind.
Okay, so did
I
you
was
get in
about
trouble?
12, 11, 12.
Okay, so that's like honestly, we're you know we're
puberty was just starting.
You're a preteen. You're becoming a teenager, and you're like, I get that. But did you get in trouble? Did you get sent to the office?
I got detention.
No, you can't help
You got
that.
detention for a boner? You got
Yeah.
detention for a boner?
Because I didn't try to cover it up, like, lift my,
That's wild.
adjust
Like
myself.
talking
So you got
shit.
I was
detention
just
for a
like-
boner.
Well, it was
Give me the
no, this
math
was
on
not
the
just a
board.
boner. It was a first boner.
it was the boner.
It was the boner.
The boner to end all boners.
Now, did this traumatize you from masturbation after this for a minute?
Nah.
I
Well,
didn't.
Nate, don't answer the question for him.
Ain't no way.
I didn't.
Traumatize someone.
That just leads to things where you just hit like
Okay, we are going totally off the.
It's okay. She was
but
curious.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't really have my first masturbation session till literally after I turned 16.
Okay.
Okay, so you were traumatized.
So I just
the whole
Traumatized by the class boners.
I just
the hot math teacher. He can't
He
solve
said,
a
"You know
problem.
what?
Fuck mathematics.
He can't do math anymore. He
No.
said, you know what?
Trigonometry can eat my ass.
Well, no,
That's right.
from that point forward, like it's math problems that give you boners.
that's what I thought at
That's what
first
can only
I
make
was
him
like,
come.
I knew the answer to the problem.
No. He'll get a normal boner, right? A normal boner. But no. The only way he can finish is if he solves a problem.
That's right.
That's the foreplay.
That's right. That is the
Oh,
foreplay.
I was so awkward. I didn't lose my virginity till I was 20.
That's fine.
Nice.
There's nothing wrong with that.
That's good.
I can't relate to that though.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that, my guy.
But
All right, sorry. I stole the show with.
No, please.
So,
we love it.
So let's go back
the
to the
reason-
questions, right?
yes,
Andy,
we can.
Ask about Bush is. Why does Andy want to know about Bush? And he's not talking about George W.
He's not talking about Republicans.
Because
No,
like,
he's not.
Okay.
He's talking
as
about.
a little girl, like, like 9/11 just like the anniversary.
Yeah.
So
you
you
know?
became pro-Bush after that.
All I'm saying is, as a little girl, I saw the president on the TV a lot, and I got a boner for him for
Yeah.
sure. I thought he was.
He was everywhere.
He was like, as a little girl, that was like one of my first crushes because I was like, who is this man? The Illuminati, the devil,
Yeah.
apparently.
Oh,
But
the
as a little
Illuminati.
girl, I'm just like, I hope he holds my hand.
I think it's how all of America was at that time.
Like, seriously.
We all wanted him to hold our hand.
Because
That's true.
I know a lot of people pre 9/11 after he got elected, they didn't know one way or the other how they felt about it. They could have gave a damn.
Yeah.
But after 9/11, and that's my president, that's my George
Oh,
That's what I'm
W.
saying. It was a different time.
Oh, it was.
So many years ago.
That's
But-
right. But also, you've been dealing with a debilitating illness for a long time.
Serious question. As soon as I'm adjusting, fuck.
Yeah, she's
Thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah, she's been dealing with complex regional pain syndrome, CRPS, and I'll let her tell it. But it's the world's most painful condition, and that's not just a buzz statement or anything. That's what we were told by several doctors once we found out what she had.
Yeah.
So you can tell them about it, Paige.
Oh, just take over right now? Shit.
Go ahead.
All right. Yeah, no, this is kind of like, as cringe as it is, this is my purpose, you know? Like, I have a rare disease. I have a condition that's, like, I'm kind of like a whistleblower to my own form of cancer. Like, but unfortunately, this is above cancer. Yeah. So, being a whistleblower to something, like, imagine never hearing of cancer, and I'm coming on here saying, hey, a wrestling accident activated this health condition called cancer, but you guys have never heard of it, but it's a deadly killer, and I'm here to tell the world about it. Imagine. But it's CRPS. It's above cancer, and it is a silent killer. It is nicknamed the suicide disease, and it is as deadly as you can imagine. So when people find me and they know of this health condition, they quite literally are baffled on how I'm alive. And what I mean by that is I have had this health condition for, this disease has spread full body, and I have had it for 8 years now. 8 years, nearly a decade.
Yeah.
And this disease, with people being diagnosed, with people understanding what they have, with people having health experts trying to control it and maintain it, don't survive. So when I was discovered, they're like, how did you survive this? Because I was quite literally raw dogging this for, when I was discovered, it was, 7 years?
Yeah.
7 years.
I think we were right beyond the 7-year mark.
The reason that this is also so bad, so you can have a heart attack and it activated a stroke, a surgery, or an injury. And it just so happens, as poetically cringe and as poetic as it is, it was a wrestling accident. It was right in front of Rikishi. It was right at Knox Pro in LA. Nathaniel and I both were sleeping out of our vehicle, living there. We worked at Walmart, you know, doing the whole paying your dues. And we worked night shift at Walmart, and for just about a year, we were out there doing that and sleeping with no air conditioning. And one of the main things was, I was like, man, no one's ever going to believe this, so we filmed it. And we documented every bit of it and shoved it in everyone's faces on social media.
Yeah,
and
well, that's what we... When her and I first started, we had both started wrestling at different portions before we knew each other. But when we came together a couple years after, we already had, I mean, you got to think, it's like 2012. Her and I have been in the business a few years at this point, but we hadn't linked up yet.
Yeah.
And before things are like they are now, where you can go live with anything, where you can, instantly post and stuff. Her and I, we were doing that back then. We were popping up YouTube videos, and I was doing promos. And I was influenced by Chance Profit because I'd seen him doing promos like in 07, 08, and I thought that was the coolest thing.
Hell yeah.
And so when I started in Lawrenceburg, Kentucky, and I'm already a few years in, and to promote myself, I was like, okay, I'm going to start doing this. And I started putting up promos. So I bring that up because her and I would catch a lot of kickback from some of the older vets that
they just didn't understand it. It was so new.
They were afraid of change. Like the stuff that's going on now.
Yeah.
If we were doing a lot of the stuff that you see guys doing now and girls
Promos
doing now. And taking photos and stuff, and we would put that and we'd catch heat for it. And even though we'd catch heat for it, and I know you guys have dealt with stuff too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And it's from those same type of individuals, by the way.
Yeah.
So even though we'd catch heat for it, her and I would keep doing it because nobody had any balls to do anything to us. They were just all talk, and they like to believe their own hype, and they thought they were actually badass when they really weren't, and that's the reason they would just run their mouth away from us, and they'd never do that. So her and I, we kept doing it. So fast forward to going into her getting CRPS, and we didn't know that's what she got. We were making sure, hey, we're going to post everything we do. We're going to put ourselves over with it because it's a thing that not only does it put us over and allow people to know what we're doing, but it's also documenting our memories. Like her and I were sleeping out of the car nearly a year in Los Angeles, California, training under a guy that I grew up watching and I had action figures of, and I played him on video games, and I was such a Stone Cold mark. I hated him when he was the one that ran Stone Cold over. So for me,
100%.
Yeah, for me, I was like, we're going to document this. So we kept that same mentality when when the accident happened with CRPS that unleashed that.
Yeah, so not even with just being homeless and training under, like, whether it was under Funaki, Rikishi, we not only documented that, we also documented these past 8 years of me being sick, me being in the wheelchair, me gaining over 100 pounds. And then we can circle back to the wrestling aspect of it, but to put a bow tie in the seriousness of my disease, the reason that it's baffling is because it's so rare and it shouldn't be so unknown. And we need to be the whistleblowers. We need to bring attention to it. And I didn't just sit on my ass and not do anything for the past up until the
You're doing a brave thing.
Yeah.
Thank you. Up until getting diagnosed on the 7-year mark, because now we're at 8 years. Right before I got diagnosed, I saw 15 doctors. Not just a regular doctor, but specialists. And then I would go to these specialists, and we would do all the studies and all the different... I was a guinea pig when they were trying to figure out what is going on with me. And when they would give up on me, I'd be like, who's above you? And I would be sent... by the time I found my doctor, I was going to specialists that only saw what NFL... They were the higher up sports medicine doctors.
Eventually, we ran through so many doctors for her, and I'm not trying to talk over you. I'm just trying to like paint this picture that you're painting right now. We went through, You know, it started with normal doctor, then it went to a doctor above that, then finally got to a point, okay, we're going to send you to a sports medicine specialist that takes care of MLB and NFL players.
And then it got to a point where it would be those specific doctors, but then only for foot injuries. And they specifically only studied the feet.
And then it would go from not just the foot, they would only study a specific part of the foot. Like, that's how...
Or the surgeries of the feet. And then I would go back down to, like, a chiropractor.
Yeah.
And 15 of those souls did not know.
For 7 years.
And
For
then,
7 years, we didn't know what was going on. So she's going through this, and she...
Organically. I didn't have
no
medical
medicine.
marijuana. I didn't even go and drink alcohol. I didn't have any pain pills. How did I survive? That is why...
That's a tough...
We are trying to bring awareness to this disease, because there's no reason why I should have survived this, let alone when I last saw my last doctor before getting diagnosed. I was over 100 pounds heavier. I was in a wheelchair, and the medical community quite literally body shamed me and said, "You are fat, lose weight, your pain is not that bad."
I remember seeing that post. I felt so horrible.
Doctors are saying this to me, that you're not little, lose weight, and your pain is not that bad. They left me to die in the wheelchair and ignored me. And it turns out my pain that's not that bad, turns out it's above cancer, and it's the most painful pain a human can feel. It is above childbirth. It is above cancer. It is above any pain, emergency amputation. My pain I feel this very second talking to you is the most painful pain a human can feel. I feel it right now coursing through my veins. Wow. So when they left me, I had no medical marijuana, no pain pills, and I was told I was just fat. So what Nathaniel and I did, I rolled my fat ass to a Planet Fitness and said, I'm going to fight for my life. And what I did was I got out of the wheelchair when I'm not even supposed to walk ever again. And I taught myself how to walk again in a fucking Planet Fitness. And it didn't happen overnight. And I recorded this, of course. But from the beginning of the year to the end of the year, it started with just 30 minutes. I would force myself to walk and stand for 30 minutes, and I was crying, vomiting, shitting myself. It was the worst pain a human can feel, and we didn't know that. So from 30 minutes at the beginning of that year, by the end of the year, I was standing and walking in a Planet Fitness for 10 hours every single day.
Yeah.
No pain pills, fighting the most painful pain known to mankind. And all that I had in my head was, I got to get back to work to Walmart so I can pay for wrestling school and wrestle again.
You found that motivation.
Yeah.
That helped you keep on going.
It's so insane that that's what kept me alive. And during this time, I would be cyber attacked and cyber bullied and mocked and called a non-wrestler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
It was the most insane thing ever.
I followed you guys for years on Facebook and social media and all that. When you say cyber attacked, I did what I could try to build you guys up before the podcast was even a thing. So I witnessed you be body shamed, and I felt bad for you. Yeah. And, had you not had the friendship of Nate right here, and
he became my family for sure. He was 100%. There when, and thank you for validating. You in real time witnessed what we went through.
Yeah,
so
100%.
It's true that I had Nathaniel when I was homeless, but then I also had Nathaniel when I was in the wheelchair, and then now I have Nathaniel as I taught myself how to walk again.
He was your rock.
He became my family, my brother, and
before all that, I mean, we had encountered each other, and we just kind of found out that we have each other's back. And it was not even like we sat down one day and said, hey, I got your back if you got mine. It just, sometimes you meet people on this, listen, I don't understand why we're floating on a rock in the middle of outer space, and I don't know why the sky's blue and the grass is green. It's all weird.
Right.
But we're here. And you cross paths with people sometimes, and for no rhyme or reason, you click and you connect. And that's what happened with her and I. and we've through thick and thin, we've had each other's back, and she's a sister to me. She's my family. And before she went through the CRPS diagnosis and having it, she always had my back and I always had hers. We were always there because there was times it was just me and her. There was nobody else, just us.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I mean, like when you experience something like you haven't ate in 3 days.
Yeah.
And you're starving. And you're gonna take Benadryl just to go to sleep.
Yeah.
That's trauma bonding that Nathaniel and I experienced, and it was all for wrestling.
Yeah.
It was all for our love for wrestling.
And there was no like kind of hidden motive between either one of us, because there's nothing that like she's looking to get from me or I'm looking to get from her. It's just like we saw how passionate both of us are about things.
And also we saw injustice that was done to each other, whether it was people trying to blackball, manipulate, gatekeep, or ride your coattails.
Yeah, there's always
vice
gatekeepers.
versa.
Yeah.
Or people having ill intent on that would want to, if I could just get her alone.
Yeah.
You know, people have had predatory
and
intentions.
these things still exist, and we still encounter these types of things. It's just people are they're very sneaky about how they do it now, because it's not like it was 12 years ago, but to not put a bow on her CRPS stuff, but to just enhance that just a little more. I watched this girl, when we found out, we're sitting there like Dr. 15, whichever one, like the last one, pulls out this chart. Hey, this is number 1 is cancer. That's the most painful. Number 2 is childbirth. Number 3 is amputation. Number 4 is kidney stone. We're like, damn, okay. And then she's like, well, see, above all that, that's what she has. She has CRPS, complex regional pain syndrome. She stays in pain. Some days are better than others, but she's in constant pain. And I've watched this girl go out, like last night, we're in Tennessee, and she's having a flare up. She's in pain. She's basically convulsing because of, you can see it, like she'll swell, she'll get red. You see the vascularity. I've watched her. We've been at cons where she's been booked at WrestleCon, and because of the CRPS, she's throwing up. And like we're walking through a con, and like I'm holding a plate for her to throw up, and like somebody would look at me like, "Oh man, she was partying, man. She's partying too hard." And it's like, no, that's not what's going on.
It was like my first WrestleMania, and I'm being presented to do a signing for all the wrestling fans, and like I'm in front of all these actual celebrities that are like,
well, it's a who's who. Here's like D'Lo Brown, Badass Billy Gunn, Rob Van Dam,
and it just looks like I'm just some new kid partying, that's fucked up. And then some news source actually reported that they saw me vomiting in the main hall, and it's like, dude,
it's CRPS.
It's CRPS. I wish I was this cool, like fucking.
Yeah. Well, it's like last Sunday we did J.R. Rock's show, and she went out and she had couple spots in it, and she got to the back and like was sweating from not from performing, because she's been performing before she got into wrestling, and it's not that, but she is uncontrollably shaking and nearly passing out, and everybody's concerned for her. And I'm just saying, hey, listen, this happens. Like, there's nothing that we can do about this. It's just, unfortunately, this is a side effect of CRPS.
Exactly.
That's it. Like, that's why she always tries to make sure to have, like, electrolytes, Pedialyte, things like that before we go out and perform. But to watch her do what she's done and to be fighting this pain, I've seen her literally throwing up from the pain, passing out from the pain in my arms. Then she goes out and puts on a 10 out of 10 performance that somebody without CRPS can't even do. And then she comes back and continues letting the CRPS take over. That's what type of badass she is. So when I would drop her off, she's
amazing.
Thanks. I think she is, but she's very inspiring. And when I would drop her off at the gym and go do my shoot, she's there for 10 hours, And it's not like she's in there 10 hours like curling weights and stuff. She's trying to push out her pain and teach herself how to walk again and lose.
Because I had no medical. Yeah.
She's taking no pain pills. She's not even no medical card for marijuana.
I had no rehab facility. I had no one holding my arms and teaching me how to walk again and pumping me with pain pills. I literally had no medicine, and I was in a Planet Fitness.
It was her and I to sit back and theorize and contemplate and like throw ideas of like, hey, we don't know what's going on. What can we do? We got to try to do something to get you better. And it's just trial and error. And then finally we found Dr. Number 15 that diagnosed her, and that was a heavy pill, man, because it's like, damn. And so now I present CRPS to everybody that I can. When she's not around, I'm still an advocate for it, and I'm talking about it, and I'm telling everybody about her story because
That's the way to do it.
Yeah, well, it's inspiring what she does. And it pushes me and it motivates me to continue because this girl's going out here, getting on planes, driving. I mean, come on, dude. We drove 26 hours to Arizona. Been stuck in a car, but without CRPS is terrible. All right, it's a mental game, dude. Like 26 hours. You can ask Zodiac and Eric Fall, and they were on these trips with us. 26 hours one way driving, dude, out west. When you hit that like that 12-hour mark, and you're like, damn. Like, it's just a mental game. So that's bad enough as it is, but her being stuck in a car with CRPS and doing that, and then she gets out there and performs to her best ability, which is pretty damn good, and then drives back.
Yeah. Honestly, thank you.
That's off the
you
chart.
As my caregiver, it's important. With anyone being sick or with a disability, our caregivers are not just our bread and butter, but they are our advocates when we have no voice.
Yeah.
So if we can't speak,
And it's actually an inspiration to you. You could have, forgive me if this sounds out.
you can say whatever you want.
Right, but forgive me if this sounds out of pocket. You could have been like, well, damn, I got CRPS now. What's the point of living? I'm just saying.
Well,
but you have
valid.
You have never used your illness as an excuse to stop.
I have discussed this with Nathaniel, with my pain management specialist and my therapist. I've discussed this with God. Had I been diagnosed day one, would I had the will to get out of the wheelchair? Would I?
Yeah.
Would I still be alive? Would I have mentally, when day one or even year one, if I had been diagnosed and told, hey, this is it's a rare disease above cancer and there is no cure and you are going to die young. If you would have told me that, would I have had any gumption to be like, oh, I'm going to be a wrestler still? So maybe, and so off the record, on the record now, since I'm saying it on podcast now, and forgive me, but
hey, it's all right.
My doctor said that when she first found me, she's like, she's studied this disease and it inspired her to be a doctor because she was with the doctor. She was with the doctor for 15 years, she said, or whatever. And she was a nurse under someone who knew of this disease, and the death rate was insane. And because of the deaths, it inspired her to be a doctor. And she was the one that diagnosed me. And when she found me, she's like, off the record, because she could lose her license, saying this to a patient, but she's like, I don't know how you're alive. And she's like, but just so you know, I think you went undiagnosed and endured that because you had something about you that you could endure it, and you did. And she said, go tell your story. And she said,
Tell your story.
She's like, if you don't write a book, I'm going to. And it's like I'm having the specialist of a disease that is unheard of telling me I'm 1 in a million. And I'm So when you have this person telling you this, and then you're like, hey, it's pretty cool, you're getting back in the ring, and it's like, I didn't know any better.
It's because you're inspired.
Well, I went I'm retarded, I'm stupid. I went so long undiagnosed, I didn't know any better. Everyone's like, you're not touching pain pills, and it's like, why start now?
Exactly.
And then when they're like, oh, you're wrestling, and when you're not even supposed to be touched, and it's like, but why not? If I can endure it, if I can show it, I've been screenshotting it because it's going to be in my book.
Exactly.
But the other people that are sick with my disease, let alone other health conditions, are in my DMs right now and telling me that, hey, I saw you in Florida on this radio show. How did you sit there and endure and do that interview? I would have been, like my CRPS brother was like, I would have been vomiting and screaming just sitting there being interviewed. And then I have my CRPS sisters FaceTiming me, say, oh, I just saw you do a spear. And she's like, oh my gosh, you're not just walking, but you just speared someone. And I'm like, I know, this is so cool. So it's very important to do what I'm doing, and now I have officially announced on social media, and I can discuss it with you guys, but
Please do.
I can't tell you the full details of who.
That's understandable.
Tell us.
But I have been, so all of our hard work getting my body prepared to wrestle again has been green lit, and I am going to be going somewhere and training with someone, but I can't tell you who. So in the meantime, as we prep for that said person, because I'm not ready, as I prep for said person, and I wish I could go tomorrow, but my body's too sick. I'd embarrass us all, let's be honest. I'd be embarrassed us. But
You wouldn't. You're a wrestler.
But for now, guys, I am going to be with someone in Louisville, someone in Cincinnati, and then, of course, I'll just say Bobby Blaze, obviously. And they're going to be helping me right now for the next month, preparing
For the other person.
But yeah, it's pretty exciting. You guys
Hell
will see,
yeah.
you guys will know of the three people very, very soon, which Bobby Blaze is one of them. But
Bobby Blaze.
but as for that main person, hopefully within the next month or two, you guys will see me going to Florida, and you guys will understand.
Can't wait.
I'm so
That's why you're an
as a
inspiration.
longtime fan of you, Miss Paige. Can I call you Paige? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah, no, it's
I
fine.
understand that's your name, but I don't want to call you out a gimmick.
It's fine.
And Nate, I've been a long fan, followed you guys for years. So I've seen you grow as a person with the CRPS.
Yeah.
And, and it's great. And I'm excited for you to get the opportunity that you'll be doing. You've got your 3 other trainers to get you in position
To go to that.
To go to that one. I'm excited for you. I'm trying to remain somewhat calm right now, but in all mind, I'm excited for you because it's.
I was never
like seeing-
supposed to get out of that wheelchair.
You
I
were
was
ne-
supposed to die, and now here I am 130 pounds lighter, and I'm going to be, which to be fair, realistically, my doctor said, this is unnecessary pain. Like, she's not a wrestling fan. She doesn't understand.
Yeah.
Right.
But she has a twinkle in her eye, and she's giddy with what I'm doing, but it's just... She understands the pain closer to, as Nathaniel understands, as my caregiver, without tasting CRPS.
Yeah, like I will never know what
You're the
it's like.
closest that could
Yeah,
possibly
to go
understand.
through.
Right.
Yeah. So she's in that league. So she gets CRPS and she knows what just the slightest touch does to me, let alone a fucking body slam.
Yeah.
So
Right.
she's like,
So, like, if I walk over and poke your hand, I'm just saying.
yeah,
It would
isn't
be
that
like
wild?
hurting like hell.
Yeah, isn't
I
that
just
wild?
can't imagine you getting in there like I saw you take a scoop slam just here a while back. I'm like, good God.
So, like, every inch of me is, I have the home base is obviously activated in my feet, where my original injury was, but as it spread, I have the condition all over.
Yeah.
And one of my main concerns my doctor had was on the record, they were studying my brain because brain damage. Like, she literally is worried about my brain. And so, realistically, guys, with everything we work so hard to do, we are working for one single wrestling match right at this stage. Could I have a tour? Possibly, but we want that one match. Realistically, at this stage, even I will never be able to go to WWE and be a full-time wrestler, like, with my health. If anything, if God allows me to survive this, go into remission, of course I would love a job, but it will probably be as a manager. We're fighting right now to bring awareness to a disease, and just because I survived the 7 years, 15 different doctors saying no, and invalidation. I survived that, other people are not. So what we're going to do is bring awareness to this disease. We're going to try to fight and put my body in remission, and we're going to have one wrestling match.
That's the goal for right now.
That's a great goal to have.
We set those short-term goals to get to the long-term goal, but then there are goals that are going to come past that. But right now, that's all we're focused on, because it's just like she had a goal at one time. I'm going to make myself walk again. I'm going to drop this weight. And she did that. Then you move on to the next, and that's what she's doing. Again, seeing her go all over the country while fighting this disease. And, I mean, she had the match where she valeted Shotzi Blackheart against Jordan Oliver up at Black Label Pro.
Nice.
And she got physical in that. She took he did like this flying drop kick through the bottom rope, caught her right in the face, pop, she goes down. She got her comeuppance later on in that match, and it's just cool to see her. And, you know, I can attest to what she's talking about all the people that have CRPS that have reached out to her and say, hey, you're giving me hope. You're like, I know there's people that started going to the gym and they're fighting this. There are people that are, like, trying to, you know, just better themselves.
Got out of wheelchairs.
Yeah, they've got out of wheelchairs, and she's given herself, not just herself hope in doing this, but she's giving a lot of other people hope that have this disease, because this disease, it isolates you, cuts you down, makes you feel alone, because nobody understands it. Because let's be real, like, Paige is a hot girl and stuff, and you look at her and you look at her stuff on social media and you're like, oh my God, you know, boobs and butt, and she's so hot and this and that.
Yeah.
You're not going to think about, I don't care how much she posts about it. A lot of people, they will never take into consideration the type of pain she's in. Like, we as human beings are very weird, and a lot of us don't even mean to do it. It's just like, unless I see you sitting there, Johnny, with like a cast on, or like a neck brace, I can't know that you're in pain. And even then, I can't grasp the pain that you're going through. I can visually see, okay, you're hurt, but I still, because I ain't feeling that.
There's
I don't
a lot
know.
of people, like, not just having this rare disease, like, a lot of people do not realize it's at the point where I'm not allowed to donate organs now.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And that breaks me.
Yeah.
I discussed it with my therapist, and mental health is very, very important. And
Yes, it is.
I feel so useless right now being alive. I feel so useless, like, in a sick body. There's only so much I can contribute to society. So I feel so useless in life, but at least I could possibly save people in my death. And now that has been taken from me. And that was a hard month.
I can imagine.
That pill to swallow took like a solid month, and I still haven't gotten over the idea that my body can't be used to help people, save lives. There's people waiting on that phone call.
Yeah.
And I can't be that phone call for people now, and that sucks.
But the cool thing is,
and and also where it's not contagious, but where it's so unknown, I'm not allowed to donate blood.
Yeah.
This is so sick.
But the
and
cool
cruel.
It is.
The cool thing that even though that stuff and it's unfortunate has been taken away from you, the amount of people you've been able to influence and inspire and save, because this disease is nicknamed the suicide disease, and people see no hope, so they take their own life, and because the pain doesn't stop. And like, people will have this you know, they'll have CRPS in one arm, so they'll try to amputate that arm, and it spreads.
Yeah.
And
That's so true.
yeah.
That's so real.
So
Before being diagnosed with CRPS, guys, I had dreams, and it was both sides of every coin. I had a dream that my legs were amputated, and it was such a blessing because I found a mercy doctor that took my legs, and we could celebrate, and my pain was gone. But then the other side of the coin, I would have that dream, and it was a fucking nightmare.
Yeah.
And I would wake up screaming bloody murder because someone took my legs.
Yeah.
And so imagine struggling, battling the most painful pain known to mankind, and keep on having these waking nightmares back and forth for 7 years. It's maddening.
yeah.
It would be.
And, yeah.
Left in a wheelchair.
But that's the reason I mark out for you and I pop for you when, like, I do all my matches now when she's valeting me. I build every chance I get to get her in there to take a move and give a move. I do every one of my matches that way because that's very important and that's very vital. Now, of course, only if she's up to doing it and feels like doing it.
Yeah.
I'm never going to force her to do anything. You know, she's her own person. Trust me. You got a better chance of her forcing me to do something as opposed to me forcing her to do something.
Hey, that's us on the TV. I thought you
No.
guys had a wrestling match on.
We did.
We did.
One point.
My titties look big today. I must be about to start my period. Nate,
Oh my
don't
God,
Don't
flex.
flex your... No. If you ever see a good titty pic, that's because I'm on my period.
Same.
Good to know.
Same.
Well, no, you
Hey.
were just flexing your bicep.
I was.
And think about it. You were Nate Cross at one point
Yeah.
before you became
I
the
was.
that you are right now.
Who
I
remembers
was.
Nate Cross? Who's Nate Cross?
Man, what's his name referred to me as Nate Cross on EWA Tripping Balls, where he does
Yes.
the commentary. There was,
Yes.
I think the last match I worked with Jordan Cage, he called me Nate Cross. I was like, hell yeah, man, I haven't heard that in a long time.
And that was the name that
That's
you was before
when
you
I
started doing chainsaw.
started following you on social Facebook.
I was Nate
That's
Cross.
You and Nate Cross.
We the last stand for Nate Cross is Paige convinced me to go to San Antonio. We first went to Dallas, Texas in 2015 because I was homeless in Eastern Kentucky, which is my home.
Yeah.
Nobody was helping me. That includes family and friends. I was like, well, this is weird and sucks. Don't know what happened. So whatever. And then she convinced me, like, hey, we need to get out of here. So after 2 months or 3, whatever it was, in the summer of 2015 of living out of her Murano, we left and we went to Texas. So we go to Dallas. She gets to hook up for this place called RCW down in San Antonio. And at the time, TNA wrestler Hernandez, who's a very good friend of ours and a mentor, he was working with them. So she gets us to hook up down there. Long story short, we go down there. He likes us for whatever reason. I mean, I get why somebody would like her. She looks great. She's over. She knows what she's doing. I wasn't even in good shape at the time, so all I could do was run my mouth. I know how to work a little bit, but I could run my mouth. And so we go down, and we spent like a year down there, and that was kind of the last run for Nate Cross down there.
Nice.
And the funny thing about it is he pulled me. I don't even care to talk about this now because like there's so much behind the scenes baseball now that gets thrown out. I mean, go look at the Netflix, documentary, Unreal. Is that what it's called?
Yep.
Unreal.
Yeah. So I don't even care to talk about this. But her and I, we were tearing it up down there. I like to think we were because we were having fun. We were heels, and I was doing, the whole Nate Cross gimmick was this wannabe rock star. I'd come out with a microphone stand, cut my promos. She was my evil Miss Elizabeth is what she was, and we'd started that in Lawrenceburg when we teamed up back in 2013.
Yes.
And so she was like evil Elizabeth, and then mixed with like a Luna Vachon and a Sherry Martel. That was like who she was studying, and like she wanted to be a female Randy
Yeah.
Savage. Yeah.
Nice.
And because that's what's always cool about Paige is like she has all these different inspirations that she brings to what she does in wrestling and outside of wrestling, and you can see it when she does what she does.
Stroke my cock more.
I'm just saying you can. But anyway, we go down there, and that was kind of the last run for that gimmick, that Nate Cross gimmick, and we had a lot of fun. Oh yeah, I know I was gonna say Hernandez pulled me to the side. He's like, "Bro, this is what I want to do with you." And so he ended up letting me work with like the Powers of Pain, Coco Beware, Tatanka, and those were like the first names I ever really got to work with. Because for whatever reason in Kentucky at the time, I don't know, nobody would really do anything with me. I was too good. I'd piss everybody off. I don't know. You tell me. I don't know. Everybody took my promos real personal back then. I don't know.
You are one of the best at promos.
Combination of both.
Thank you.
Combination
Thank you.
of everything.
I really appreciate that. I love talking. Well, sidebar on that is I grew up morbidly obese and I'd get picked on, so I had to learn how to talk, to defend myself. And I grew up on Steve Austin and The Rock, so what better mentors could you have when you're watching that every Monday night in real time? And you're like, oh, that's how you do a comeback. So I started using it, and I pissed off a lot of people that were trying to bully me. They didn't know what to say. So I applied that to pro wrestling. And anyway, so we're down there in Texas, and Hernandez is like, this is what I want to do with you, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to put you with these. He puts me with names. They put their secondary or third title. It was called the International title. Sammy Guevara held that title, too.
Yep.
So I was like, that's a pretty cool company to be in. And they were actually going to have me drop the title to Lance Archer. And we couldn't make it down. I was disappointed with that, but I got to drop it to a really good guy named Joey Spector. I like him a lot. Him and Hernandez now run AWR called Austin Wrestling Revolution. Paige and I usually go down like once a year and work for them. I think this is the only... We didn't do it this year, did we? Did it last summer?
Oh, hold on. We got a comment from someone here. Chris Crow, he said, I know the old scary evil Nate. Whenever the opportunity arises, I want to put the leather face from Timu down once again.
All right, the leather face from Timu. Okay, Chris. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I've never heard that one before.
Who?
Chris Crow. He's one of the most dominant wrestlers over Elite Wrestling Alliance. My first match there when I showed up over at Elite Wrestling.
I wasn't there.
You weren't there.
Okay.
No, you were out of town doing your thing, flying all over the place.
Shut up.
Flying out, shaking babies, slapping hands. That's what you were doing.
That's right.
Yeah.
I literally, guys, my brain. You gotta remember.
Shaking babies.
So this is what I'll say about Chris Crow, man. One of the best wrestlers I've ever been in the ring
Yes.
with.
Nice.
And
so I've met him.
yeah, you've met him, and we had that 6-man tag. But there's going to be a point. We'll cross paths at some point again. I'm going to show you just how real Timu Leatherface is, because yeah, I got some payback to give you, brother.
Nice.
That's all I got to say.
That's right. That's gonna be a good rematch.
Yeah, it'll come at some point. I don't know when.
Tell us how the ideal of the chainsaw swinging kill Billy came about.
NiceguyAndy podcast.
Yeah,
That's a good one.
Oh my God.
If he keeps popping off at the mouth, I'm gonna be his daddy.
Love it. Okay, go on. Sorry.
yeah, freak yeah.
That's right.
Hey,
Freak
there's nothing
you.
wrong with that.
Yeah.
Wait, how much longer do we have?
We got a couple minutes.
Yep, just a couple
Alright.
minutes left.
Just real quick to how the Chainsaw Nate, Evil Nate, as it's known as, son of Leatherface. Paige and I were training out in Los Angeles, living out the cars we already talked about. Prior to that, we'd always discussed. I was a big Corporal Kirshner fan of what he did as Leatherface in Japan. I wasn't a big deathmatch fan, but I loved the visual of Kirshner coming out as Leatherface and the entire crowd just splitting like the Red Sea.
Hell
It
yeah.
was fantastic. And then as a kid, I saw Terry Funk as Chainsaw Charlie. I thought that was badass. And I've always loved Texas Chainsaw Massacre. There's just something about that movie, that entire franchise, even the worst movies I love out of that franchise.
Hell
There's-
yeah.
There's an aura and a vibe to it that is, it's so surreal, spooky, and just intriguing. I love it. So all of that together, and Paige and I were talking, and I was like, so we're in LA, and like they really embrace their Samoan heritage. Because I mean, we had met Jacob Fatu down in Dallas when they were down there doing their territory league, and out there everybody calls each other Oos, brother.
Yeah.
That's what that means. And I was like, man, that's so cool. Like everybody really embraces where they're from. And I used to run from the fact that I have this hillbilly accent. I used to hide from the fact that I'm from Eastern Kentucky, and I was like I don't want to say embarrassed by it, but I just didn't want to acknowledge it. That's why the Nate Cross character was from Detroit Rock City. He wasn't from Kentucky. That's why the Nate Cross character talked the way he talked and did the things he did and made fun of hillbillies. But I was like, you know what? That I'm going to stop, because when we were out there, I was like, nobody's ever seen out here the mountains of Eastern Kentucky. That's foreign to them. And like Paige is not from there. Paige is born in Arizona. That's where Paige is from. So like when she came to the mountains before we ever met, like that was foreign for her to see. It's a different world.
When I first came to Kentucky, it was twilight, and my mom and I were in the vehicle, and I remember telling my mom, I was like, oh my gosh, a big thunderstorm's coming. And my mom's like, Paige, those are mountains. Because where it was dusk, and it was basically night, I saw the shadows and the hue of the mountains, and I thought it was a big storm coming.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
somebody that's
Culture shock.
Yeah, somebody that's never been there, it's like, whoa, what is this? We're mountains. So I was like, man, the Hillbilly Jim character's already been done.
Yep.
The Godwins, that's been done. I said, but when you think of backwoods Appalachian America, you think of two things. You think of a Hillbilly Jim type character, or you think of the inbred Wrong Turn family. You
Yep.
think of that. Deliverance. You got a pretty mouth, boy. You think of stuff like that. And I was like, I'm going to go with that one. I really like that one. And I'd always wanted to carry a chainsaw out, and I'd always loved Texas Chainsaw 3. Years ago, I'd found a guy that did, models of the Excalibur from Part 3. I said, I'll carry that out because ain't nobody else on the indies going to carry that. People have carried chainsaws out. Yeah. I know that, but ain't nobody carrying that chainsaw out. Then Paige gave me the idea. She was like, well, what if Leatherface was cutting up Bigfoot, Mothman, extraterrestrials? What would happen?
We're talking, out in LA. It was 2016. Back in 2016, there had never been a urban legend gimmick.
No.
Yep.
So with cryptids,
Yeah.
like cryptozoology, urban legend.
I love Mothman, and I love Sasquatch, and I believe in that. Just like I believe in God and Jesus, I believe in that stuff too. I mean, two different things, but I believe in it. And I was like, damn, Paige, that's a good idea. Because I go to Mothman Fest every year. I have since I was like 20 years old. before anybody really knew about it. I've been doing that, and I was like, man, that's what we'll do. I said,
Cryptozoology is such a fascinating subject.
It is.
Yes, it is.
And I was like, I'll be the urban legend.
Yeah.
I said, that's how I can differentiate. And I said, on top of that,
how would it be if Leatherface not only went after, if you wanted to stay baby, we have Leatherface going after serial killers.
Yeah.
So that's the human flesh,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Well, how would it be if Leatherface went after, you saw a UFO sighting,
Yeah.
and so therefore Leatherface goes after aliens
Yeah.
and tears up the aliens? Or there's a Bigfoot sighting, so Leatherface goes and gets
yeah,
Bigfoot.
yeah, it was like
et
just
cetera.
what would happen if Leatherface and his family encountered that scenario. Well, they'd probably try to kill them, eat them, and wear their skin. That's
They
probably
would.
what they would do. So Paige gave me
The
that.
vigilantes.
Yeah, Paige gave me that idea, and I was like, we'll do that. And then I added one more thing to it, to where I was like, I don't want to fully wrestle with the mask on. I said, so we'll come up with this thing, like Finn Balor does the demon thing. I said, how about if I did a version? I remember talking to Bobby Blaze about that, former Smoky Mountain heavyweight champion,
Yep.
former WCW superstar, my mentor, my brother, love him to death. Actually has helped train me now at this point too. And I talked to him. He's like, it's a great idea, Nate. So we took the combination of, hey, when the mask is on, I act like Leatherface. When it comes off, I'm human.
Yep.
So we added that. We added the urban legend aspect. We added the Texas Chainsaw. We added 80s hair metal. And turns out I just was lucky enough to become really good friends with R.A. Mihailoff, who played Leatherface in Part 3. He's like a brother to me.
Nice.
He's done the intro for my book. I became friends with another Leatherface, Brett Wagner, who both men, they have a background in pro wrestling. And Brett Wagner was the remake Leatherface for the first 8 minutes of that film when he shuts the door and kills Kemper with the sledgehammer.
Yep.
And
Really good guy.
yeah, they're both really good dudes. I love them to death. I consider them like uncles, dads, whatever you want to call them. They're my brothers, and they've really enhanced this gimmick that Paige and I do. And then, too, just so happenstance, Paige was the very first woman to ever carry out a chainsaw in pro wrestling to the ring.
Nice.
The very first female wrestler to do that. And when we debuted at the ECW arena last year against Tommy Wildfire Rich, I made sure that she carried that saw out. I was like, do it, man. You got to do this. She's the first person to walk out in that historic ECW arena. Not just first woman, but first man. She's first person
Yeah.
to walk out with a chainsaw.
I literally, as for someone who, like, whenever we have more time, whenever I come back on, because I will come back on.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
That's right.
I want to go into detail about how, and also in my book that comes out this year, you
Yes.
guys could read up on it, but I want people that are following me, your viewers that are just now discovering me, I want my followers, even you guys, to understand how wrestling ultimately is the thing that killed me and made me sick, yes, but also wrestling is something that I fell in love with. So
Yeah.
wrestling has from day one also been a business that never accepted me. I was always the nerd, the outcast, the theater kid. I was never accepted into wrestling.
No.
And then for wrestling, which wrestling never owes us anything, but for wrestling to take so much more than I ever offered. From how dare a sport that I fall in love with take so much from me. So I army crawled out of that wheelchair to take back.
Yeah.
And,
That's right.
I love this business, and this is my business. And for a business that never accepted me, I want to prove that,
Oh, you have.
there's still so much
No,
more.
you
to be
and
done.
you're going to do it though. For a business that's never accepted you, you're
Which
made.
I'll go in more detail
For
some
sure.
other time, but as for just
By all means.
always the underdog, always someone defying the odds.
But
from
that's why.
assassination to
But that's why,
character to-
regardless of blackballing, gatekeeping, lies, manipulation, you've been able to beat it all. They can't stop you, and that's why you're the one. Listen, I'm not the one getting flown around this country. You are. You're doing that without even wrestling. You're doing that without wrestling. So imagine what you're going to do when you do start wrestling.
I just am in a sick body, so I'm only
know.
able to do breadcrumbs right now.
Doesn't
guys.
matter.
That's right, but the Saw is family.
Hell yeah.
baby steps, breadcrumbs, whatever you want to call it. The longest journey begins with a single
Plus, you're a
step.
motivation because you didn't let that define you.
Yeah.
You could have easily just said fuck it
Yeah.
and killed over, but you didn't. You said nope.
You kept
I'm
going.
gonna fight.
Honestly, it
I
was.
just said that.
If people in the opener in my book, I will end it on that. Is
Let's
that the opener in my book? you guys are going to experience the day, the night before going and getting legally diagnosed with my disease, because I was unofficially diagnosed before I went in, and that's where I had the Iggy to get the professional of this disease, find the doctor with this knowledge of this condition. So when you open up my book, let alone like when you, I want people to understand that getting diagnosed was as much of a blessing it was a curse, and it's been.
It closed doors and opened doors.
That's right.
My body is forever sick.
Close the wrong doors, open the right ones.
You're not supposed to touch me, you know. And now, as I mentioned full circle at the beginning of this, we're going to be with 3 good people the next month or 2, and we're getting my sick body prepared.
Oh yeah, wait till you see what she's doing. It's really cool.
Shit my
you
panties.
guys, I tell you what, you guys will have an exclusive too. If you guys want to come to some of her first sessions and document, you're more than welcome to, because they'll be close enough for you guys to get there.
Let us know and we'll be there.
You want to see someone not be able to walk straight, trying to run the ropes. It's very entertaining. It's great.
Well, we'll always support you guys because you guys have always been great to us.
You guys are so kind.
Yes, so
and
we appreciate you guys.
We're going to the same show tonight, right?
Hell yeah.
Sure.
Cool.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. I'm cool with that,
folks.
baby.
With that, we come to the end of the show.
Yep.
Evil Nate, Dahlia, thank you for giving a moment of your time today, because right now you're going to be going to whoop some ass in EWA.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
And guys, stay nice. If you're not having fun,
You ain't getting none.
damn Skippy.
Nice Guy Andy Podcast. Skullface Records Radio.
So cute. I love that.
Ooh, yeah!
Those were expensive shoes.
Scott Diamond right there.
Watch the Nice Guy Andy podcast.
What is up, guys? This is OVW.
Anyways.